Perfect. There we go. All right, you ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. So let's go 3. All right, welcome to Liberty Coast to Coast with Keith and Cody. We got lots to talk about today, specifically the big story of the day. Hillary Clinton will not face, or at least will not have, a recommendation of indictment from the FBI, Keith. Can you believe what we're hearing?
You know, it's like I'm waking up with a terrible hangover from the 4th of July. We were all happy. We're celebrating liberty. And then we just woke up next to a 400-pound verdict from James Comey in the bed next to us. I'm shocked. I'm remarkably shocked. You know, for about 50. Well, you know, if anyone's been on C-SPAN and seen the 15-minute clip for like 13 minutes, it felt really, really good.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I was literally sitting there like, oh my God, it's going to happen. Oh my God, it's going to happen. And I just kept staring at Comey, and I was like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And next thing I know, it just went straight downhill. Straight downhill.
Liberty balls I have ever had in my life.
That is a great analogy.
And anyone who hasn't heard, I'm going to play a little clip for you guys. And, you know, this right here is the meat and the potatoes of it. This is from a little bit into the beginning. Let me just play this for you guys. I think you're going to enjoy this.
From the group of 30,000 emails returned to the State Department in 2014, 110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined by the owning agency to contain classified information at the time they were sent or received.
All right, so that's fucking pretty clear cut.
That's amazing. Amazing. Not only that, I believe they also talked about the fact that, because Hillary this whole time has said that, you know, she never deleted anything. She never intentionally knew of classified documents that she may or may not have shared. But they also said something along the lines of the fact that they had pieced together emails that were deleted, that were classified, that she claimed never existed. I mean, yeah. It couldn't be more clear cut.
No, it couldn't. And that's, you know, and that's what we were talking about. Like, it goes on like that for about 10 to 13 minutes. And they're talking about the statutes. And Cody, I believe you actually have the statute right in front of you. If you wouldn't mind reading that for the audience.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, the biggest thing we've been hearing about the statute in general, or not even about the statute, but I guess about why she wasn't indicted. If you guys listen to Comey, he talks about this fact that she had no ill will or no ill intent. She didn't mean to give the information to somebody else, whether or not it was. Actually, he did say that it was reasonable to believe that her server had been hacked and the information had been extracted and given to hostile entities. He didn't mention which is kind of ironic, because I believe WikiLeaks posted 30,000 emails that were the deleted emails the other day. So we definitely know that her server had been hacked. But he came out saying that there was no ill intent. She didn't purposely do this. And that's very interesting because, and I'll read you the statute, which is coming out of 18 U.S. Code 793. Section F, and there's no mention of the intent. So I'll read that to you guys and leave you to think about exactly what in the hell's going on, because I sure as hell can't figure it out. The statute reads, whoever being entrusted with or having lawful possession or control of any document, writing, code book, signal book, sketch, photographic negative, blueprint, plan, map, model, instrument, appliance, note, or information relating to national defense, 1, through gross negligence permits the same to be removed from its proper place of custody or delivered to anyone in violation of his trust, or to be lost, stolen, abstracted, or destroyed, or 2, having knowledge that the same has been illegally removed from its proper place of custody or delivered to anyone in violation of its trust, or stolen or lost, abstracted, or destroyed, and fails to make prompt report of such loss, theft, abstraction, or destruction to a superior officer, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both. There is no mention, zero mention of any necessity of intent. And the big thing that struck me, Keith, was as I'm listening to Comey talk about, and Andrew Comey, for those of you guys who don't know, he's the head of the CIA. He was talking about her going through the processes, and he mentioned that, yes, the State Department around Clinton, or the people around Clinton, those handling her servers, showed extreme carelessness in terms of their protection of these emails. The server, I mean, they even admitted a couple weeks ago that the server had 0 protections up for a week because somebody was trying to fix something on it, and they just turned down all security measures. They had no security measures for a period of time, which is unbelievable. But nonetheless, it didn't have the security protocols that the government entities would have for their servers. But he said they showed extreme carelessness. Now, I don't know how familiar you are with the court system, and not that I am, but my poli-sci degree has some overlap with some of the courses in law. And one thing that we hear, and if you've been in a courtroom, they talk about how to describe gross negligence. And you've probably heard people talking about this on TV as well, from Fox and from CNN and some other places. They talk about how to describe gross negligence to a jury. The exact way that a judge would describe that to a jury is by saying extreme carelessness. If you can prove extreme carelessness, that is gross negligence. How hilarious is that?
Oh, it's friggin' hilarious. And I think that the real hard pill to swallow is, this is not the first time we've been hit with this intent line. We got this at the end of the ACA ruling, and it's just, you really have to wonder if these people, the Supreme Court, the FBI, the Department of Justice, these are not supposed to be political organizations. They're not supposed to judge intent. They're not supposed to worry so much about political image.
They're not supposed to sit there on a tarmac and have a 30-minute conversation with the with the former president, who is the husband of the current nominee under investigation.
And might I just add that Bill Clinton was impeached for even less than all of this, who is, the husband of the woman here. So, like, we have a family, a political family that is basically above the law. I mean, this is straight out of Animal Farm. Some animals are just more equal than others. And to bring this all around, I think we should listen to James Comey as he delivers his recommendation. And I've got that clip right here.
Fire it up.
Oh, yeah.
In looking back at our investigations into the mishandling or removal of classified information, we cannot find a case that would support bringing criminal charges on these facts. All the cases prosecuted involved some combination of clearly intentional and willful mishandling of classified information, or vast quantities of information exposed in such a way as to support an inference of intentional misconduct, or indications of disloyalty to the United States, or efforts to obstruct justice. We do not see those things here. To be clear, this is not to suggest that in similar circumstances, a person who engaged in this activity would face no consequences. To the contrary, those individuals are often subject to security or administrative sanctions, but that's not.
Can you pause that right there, Keith?
Yeah, and I think that's actually a great place to stop that.
He just said that does not mean that other people who have committed the same offense will not face different charges, or they will not face charges because of the same issue. The director of the FBI just said that if it was somebody else in this circumstance, he could not say that they would not have charges brought against them.
I tell you what, now more than ever, I mean, I'm thankful for people like Rand Paul who stood up against his confirmation. In fact,
yeah, he was the only one.
Yeah, he was one and only, the only person to say, no, this Comey guy is just slimy and he will not do his job. And here he is expressly saying, well, it's okay if Hillary does it, but don't you dare do what Hillary does, because you little people don't get the same leeway.
Right. And I mean, if you look at the timeline of facts of everything that's happened recently, I mean, you have Hillary going to meet with Andrew Cuomo, wrong Cuomo, Comey. We're talking about James Comey, the director of the FBI. If you have Hillary going to have a secret 3-hour meeting with them at their headquarters, simultaneously you have Bill on a tarmac with Attorney General Loretta Lynch, apparently talking about grandkids, and happen to, like, when you're casually driving your airplane down the tarmac and you see your friend's airplane and you stop and you say, hey, look, can you take me over there? I would like to go have a conversation with them. It just happens to be the Attorney General who controls the decision to prosecute or to indict. my wife, who's up for charges of, gross negligence in terms of handling her private secure emails. That's no big deal, right? Like that just happens to everybody. That happened to you, right, Keith? You do that all the time?
Oh, all the time. And it's really weird on days like today. Like I find myself actually supporting Donald Trump. I mean, within almost 10 minutes of the meeting, he had a couple of tweets that read, FBI director said crooked Hillary compromised our national security. No charges. Wow. Hashtag rigged system. And then, again, right after he goes, the system is rigged. General Petraeus got in trouble for far less. Very unfair. As usual, bad judgment.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to agree with the Don, and I'm not hearing a whole lot of other voices agreeing or in the same vein. And it's actually making me rather sad as a lover of liberty.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing we were talking about before we came on air was we were hoping Gary Johnson put something out. I mean, you have an ultimate case of somebody who's been propping her up a little bit when he shouldn't be. I mean, he's running against her essentially, and all they've done is compliment her.
Yeah, I believe the words were wonderful public servant.
Embarrassing. That's embarrassing. As a libertarian candidate, you have somebody who's pushed foreign wars. You have somebody that is for taking gun rights away. You have somebody who's been on both sides of the gay rights issue. You have somebody who just is the political. I mean, I describe Donald Trump as a political amoeba. Hillary Clinton is like your force-made, whatever product you want. That's what she's going to stand for. Whatever's pertinent in the moment, that's what she believes. And so it's funny to me that this is all happening. That is somebody who has been able to game the system so much, blind so many people, and hold so much power. And then we have Gary Johnson, the guy that's supposed to be for liberty, for freedom, and all they've done is compliment her.
Yeah, it completely boggles my mind. I'm still waiting for a statement of him, and I'm hoping if he does give a statement and it's good, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But I'm still a little upset it's going to take this long.
Yeah, Donald Trump took 10 minutes.
Yeah, and that's actually something to be thankful for. I mean, Austin had a statement not too long after,
Yep.
and to a lot of us who were in Austin's camp, we know where we stand on this issue. And at least I can say this: there have been some good things that have come out of this. It does highlight the corruption in the system. I mean, more so than ever. There's actually a wonderful whitehouse.gov petition on our Facebook page. I want everyone to go there, check it out, sign it. We want to strip Comey of his post because, frankly, he's illustrated today. He is not doing his job.
It's a dereliction of duty.
Yeah, for 13 minutes, he made the case against her, and then for the last two, he just says, but because she's Hillary, we can't prosecute. So I advise you, at your duty as an American citizen, go to C-SPAN, watch that 15 minutes, see if you're as outraged as we are, because this is not us just wringing our hands saying, oh, we're the vast right-wing conspiracy and we can't stand Hillary. No, this is real corruption personified. Hillary is everything the founding fathers warned us about.
Yeah, and the thing to me, too, is we heard this morning at the White House and everybody in government had no idea that that James Comey was coming out and doing this, right? They played it off like they had no idea. Well, how about this optic for you? The president of the United States was currently on stage, or he's not currently, he was on stage with Hillary doing a campaign stop for her. Now, do you think a sitting president would have gone on stage with somebody who could have possibly been indicted at any moment for a federal crime, not knowing that she was innocent, not knowing the verdict prior, not knowing the recommendation?
So we have a president endorsing basically a criminal, using our tax dollars to fly on Air Force One out to North Carolina, and then stumping for her. And people wonder why we're skeptical of government.
Yeah, if there was never a reason for the Libertarian Party before, and to understand that you could love your country without loving your government, it's this one. It is this moment personified is why the liberty movement is needed.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's kind of a sad day that, you know, in the 240th birthday of America, we day one, this is what we're looking at.
Yeah.
I really do hope the Justice Department gets this right. I really do.
Well, I'm wondering if Loretta Lynch is actually going to be the one to make the call, because now she's compromised, having sat with Bill Clinton.
Well, there are petitions to have her stripped of her position as well over the meeting in Arizona. We'll have to see how that plays out. I don't think it will. I think we'll see, just like the Fast and Furious charges, it's going to get pushed just under the carpet. Now,
how about this theory? If we look at James Comey, right, and we're looking at what could his possible motive be. One theory, and I made a meme about this earlier. We put it up on our Facebook page and our Twitter. But what if he didn't want to be tied to the 25, 30 names already that have just fallen off the face of the planet after their connection with the Clintons?
Yeah, not to put on a tinfoil hat, but the idea of a Clinton kill list has actually been made rather popular through the 90s and right on and through.
Well, didn't somebody just die too recently that was connected to the Clintons? They were supposed to testify.
Ash was supposed to testify against Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation, and the day he was supposed to testify, disappeared. I don't know the full details of that, but you know, it's almost like Comey says, I know she's super guilty, but I don't want to die. So please, Hillary, I see the sniper. Take the bead off my forehead. I have a wife and kids to protect. Like, and you know, you got to think, if the FBI director is afraid of Hillary, who else do we have left fighting for us in our corner? I mean, I thought the FBI was supposed to be above all this.
I'm not afraid of Hillary. I mean, I'm afraid of her presidency. Let's clarify this. I'm afraid of her presidency, but I'm not afraid of her as a person.
Well, I'm calling the headlines tomorrow. Yeah. Co-host Coast to Coast found in duffel bag in 6 different pieces.
Two episodes in, right? Then he's whacked. Done.
Oh, and it will be ruled a suicide.
Oh, yeah.
Most of these deaths are, even though I believe there's 2 that have involved with people being dismembered.
Wow.
Damn cool. Yeah, you know, Google it. Google the Hillary kill list. Trust me, you will have fun.
That's the only thing I could think of that makes any of this rational, though.
It does, and I don't know what that says about our nation as of now. Maybe voting is not enough. I don't know what that means. Maybe that means something different to each and every one of you. But my goodness, let's not let Hillary become our president.
We're better than that. We really are better than that. I mean, as much issue as we have with Gary, you know, we support his ideas and what he stands for far before we stand for anything that Trump or Hillary have talked about. And if this isn't a plea for anything more than just take a look at the Libertarian Party, then use it as that, because ultimately you're voting for the lesser of 2 evils. But that depends on what your weight of evil is. I mean, if you talk to Keith and I, we can tell you they're both the same. They are literally, their policy differences are very minimal. You know, their political backgrounds are minimal. I mean, Trump was at Hillary's wedding. I mean, it blows my mind that people can sit there and say, "Oh, if you're voting for Hillary, you're voting for Trump," or if you're voting for, if you're voting for Gary, then it's a vote for Hillary, and vice versa. Like, these people pretend like the only options we've ever had are the Republican and Democrat Party, and the only way we break that paradigm, the only way we get through and change things, is to start actually looking at other parties and helping them grow. And at this point, I don't even necessarily, I mean, I would love it to be the Libertarian Party, but if the first thing you touch happens to be the Constitution Party, the Green Party, that's fine. Let's start breaking the paradigm of this 2-party system.
Yeah, the system needs to be smashed. And we went through a lot of this back 100 years ago, and people say history doesn't repeat itself, but sure as hell does. Where we had the Republican Party was split between Taft and Roosevelt, and that allowed someone as terrible as Woodrow Wilson to come through. And, as of today, now we have the Federal Reserve. Now we have the 16th Amendment, which gave us the income tax. This is what happens when you're faced with these awful, awful decisions, and you feel helpless, like you don't have a choice. You do have a choice. You can vote Libertarian, you can vote Green, you can vote Constitution, but damn it, don't vote for Hillary or Trump. And that's really all I've got to say on this.
Absolutely. I think this is a good place to wrap this conversation up and, tuck it away for now until we have until we know exactly what the attorney general is going to do with this indictment. We're hoping that she gets indicted and we can figure it out. Also, I want to give you one fun fact about Woodrow Wilson in terms of World War II and propaganda. Do you know who Joseph Goebbels, the propagandist for Adolf Hitler, said that he appreciated most in terms of propaganda and learning techniques?
Well, I would guess Woodrow.
Yeah, it was Woodrow Wilson. Yeah, it's a fun fact. So you guys can look that up too. But we want you guys to listen to what we say and take that. And ultimately, our goal is to break the paradigm that politics as it sits. We want people to start looking elsewhere, looking for more information. And if we can't convince you to do that with Hillary, I don't know what else we can do, Keith.
No, and if anything we've said, if anything that we've said sunk in, please check out that whitehouse.gov petition. Side with Rand Paul. Let's recall James Comey. This is too far. This is too far. We sat around before. We can't just sit on our asses right now and let him get away with this. This needs to be done. And there are good people who are fighting. There are great people if you want to look and find them and align with them. We'll keep pointing you in their direction as long as you continue to tune in to Liberty Coast to Coast and help us make Liberty viral.
Go do your part today, guys. Make Liberty viral. We'll talk to you next time.